Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Finally, senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non binary friends. And remember, no matter who you are a valid thumbs up for that. First thing, before I forget, I am absolutely amazed that yesterday I went through the entire thing with my collar tucked in and I didn't notice. I never looked away from the camera to look up there and see how everything looked. Huh. Now, I'm usually the kind of person that fixates on that. Thumbs up. But the other thing I wanted to mention is there's two ways to smell things. From the back of your nose through your back when you eat, the scent goes up through the nasal cavities back there, and you get a different scent than when you breathe it in here. The scent back there is why rain smells good to so many people. But it tastes so bad and smells so bad once it's in your mouth. The activation of things when the scent comes up through the back of your throat and into your nasal cavities and activates the neurons that sends the signals to your brain. Different set. Different reasons. So something can smell good but taste so bad. Which I find it difficult to stay hydrated. I can't just drink regular water or I'm going to forget to drink forever. When I used to work as a nurse's aide, I could drink ice water. But after that, it became, once I injured my back and could no longer work, injured my back for the last time, I could no longer work and such, but it became difficult to stay hydrated. Even now it's a struggle because I have to have flavor in my water or I can't drink it. I just forget and don't. And that's really bad for your kidneys. So if I don't have like flavored water, I don't drink water, which is why I can drink so much tea in a day because it has flavor. So I buy these containers that are like $4 for like 30 squeezes of flavor from Walmart, and it's like, you can get lemonade or strawberry watermelon, or they'll have energy stuff or with their flavors like blue raspberry or Arctic Blast. It's like some chemical fiction and all that, but you can get all these flavors, and I've gotten into mix and match where I'll take one of them and put in like 5 squeezes and then put in one of another 4, and then so that's 10 squeezes in a 64-ounce bottle, and that's perfect. It's not too much flavor and it's not weak either, so I can stay hydrated. But the thing is, when you drink it, it tastes great through the back of your throat going up this direction. When I smell it, like I take the top off my water bottle and then just smell it, front part of my nose, oh my God, the chemical smell is almost overwhelming. It is quite amazing. So thumbs up for that. And I don't know what is happening. It is Sunday. I don't know if they're moving something for a current cottage mate, because there's 4 apartments in each cottage where I live, and each apartment in each cottage is 150 square feet plus another like 20 square feet for the bathroom and toilet. There's a shower stall and a toilet, so it's like 150 square feet out here. But I'm hearing bonking and clonking up against the wall, like over on that side periodically, which the room over there has been empty for a while. But I've heard that they were moving somebody in over there, so it could be today. Or they could be helping my other cottage mate down over that direction move some stuff in. He has active family that periodically comes in, so that's a thumbs up. It's good to have family. I mean, he had bad things happen, as we all can have, and it's nice that there's a place to catch you before you hit the actual bottom. So thumbs up for that. But I don't know what is happening. I just know that there's clinks and clonks. So yay on that. And it is wet and gray, and it's not chill though. It's like in the 40s, and it's supposed to get up into like the low 50s. So this is almost too much. I'm not going to be treating it like it's a winter's day, because hokey smoke is it not. And with the lighting the way it is, because I had to buy boots, I had to buy 2 pairs of boots, because the first pair of boots that was the more expensive pair I can't really wear except for short periods of time, so I had to buy the other pair of boots. I am hoping that next month, if I still have disability or social security, and I'm not living on the street, that I can get a ring light, because this lighting is terrible. When I'm going into Wondershare's Filmora to do the editing, I have to crank the exposure up, and then I edit the color, because I crank the exposure, everything kind of gets washed out. So you got to adjust the color along with all the temperature, the saturation. I barely know how to do this stuff, but it's kind of fun to be able to tinker around and figure stuff out and do it right eventually. So hopefully I'm halfway doing it right. Each one of our eyes are different. So what looks perfect to me might look really weird to somebody else, especially my eyes have been terrible my whole life. I had glasses for a while because somebody on Facebook, like 5 years ago or more or so, actually paid so that I could buy some glasses. And so I did. And so I had regular go out on the street glasses, and then I had, because you can only see off at a distance with those, I have age-related problems with my eyes where it's easier to focus far away, harder to focus close up, along with the fact that this eye can't really see close up, whereas this eye is my close-up eye, and I've been losing the close-up on that. But I had glasses, but my eyes have changed enough that they're not really worth wearing. Things look worse with the older prescription than they do with just not wearing glasses. And I have not worn glasses most of my life. I mean, I have worn them, like when I was working, I wore my glasses, such like that. But when I'd get home, it's glasses off. I don't mind the world being fuzzy and blurry and soft instead of angular and sharp. It doesn't bother me that when I look up there, I can't read really with this eye. Well, this eye, yeah, bad, because my monitor is right in the middle. If I was further back, I could read pretty well. That there. Because when I'm out walking on the streets and I look at street signs that are far away, this eye crystal clear, this eye, I can't even see the street sign. And so looking up there, though, my monitor is right in the middle. It's too close for this eye to see well, and it's too far away for this eye to see well. But that would be the case no matter what I did. Because I'd either have to be like 10 feet away from it or 6 inches away. And I can't do either one of those well, so I just do a compromise and don't see well at all on any part of it. Which I think, well, no, I have talked about before. I don't even know why I started off with I think. But I've talked about how even with my blurry vision where I can barely see a thing on the monitors, when I'm playing games like Doom, whether it's one of the older versions on the source ports like GZ Doom, which isn't actually a source port engine, but it plays Doom, or it's one of the newer ones like Doom Eternal, I can still be focused up on one part of my screen, top left corner. And then down at the bottom, there's just a little flicker of a couple of pixels like this. I still react with, oh, time to get the hell out of here and fire some missiles off in that direction while I'm doing it. Reaction. I can see them, or rather, I'm not seeing them, I'm able to still see the change, because that's what you're seeing, is the change in something. You notice that. So I'm seeing a change in a couple pixels, and that triggers the alert thing. I can at least see the change in whether it's color or lighting, and that's a danger sign. So thumbs up on that. But past that, I actually have not done much. It's been a weekend, and my heel, one day will be great, and the next, not so. This morning, before I put my boots on, it was like someone took a hammer and slammed it into the back, not the back, the bottom of my heel, the part you walk on. Oh boy, it still hurts. Just a dull throb right now, though. So how am I going to do for my walkies today? How much pain am I going to be in? Am I going to be able to do more than just walk to Walmart and back? I honestly have no ideas. But my back of my heel has been feeling pretty good wearing the 11.5s. So that's a definite thumbs up. Now, I went walkies last night, and it was raining, and I decided to... The paths that I like to walk along this dirt road that goes through and around these fields underneath the power lines, they have a lot of deep puddle holes that normally aren't full because it doesn't always rain, but there are a lot of them, and they collect water quickly. So heading down into all this, I tell myself that I'm going into this with the understanding that I may have to turn around because it may not be possible. Well, when I got to the first part where there's a drainage field where when it rains, water gets shunted into that field. The path that I walk on is a dirt road that goes down into the drainage field and then a little bit up and over to the main road. But the dirt road, and especially the big hole in the middle of it, is below the level of the rest of the drainage field. So it quickly will get all wet all around it. So you've got water from the drainage field here, water from the drainage field here, water that has collected from the rain and isn't going anywhere, plus it can't go anywhere because the water is from the drainage field is there. So you've got just these tiny little slivers of land on each side. And one side was completely gone, and the other, well, it had just a little bit of stuff poking up in spots for about 3 feet. So me being an idiot, I walked in it. These boots are not advertised as waterproof. It felt like my toes got wet. But especially since these are plastic leather, pleather, and not waterproof, but it's still plasticky, your feet sweat, and my toes will often feel like they're wet because I've been sweating inside of my boots. So wow, that was a failure of my brain and my mouth there, wasn't it? Now, was it my toes feeling wet because water leaked in because they're not waterproof boots? Or was it just the outside of the boot felt colder because of the water? Or was it just my imagination? I didn't notice anything weird when I went to bed and took my boots off. My feet didn't feel wet all the rest of the time, so I don't know. But I did not walk that path on the way back. The other parts of it, I don't know why I got the itchies right here, but I do. My apologies. The other part of the walk, there's the dirt path. Well, it's a dirt road. There's the dirt road, which collects a lot of water, and I wasn't sure if it was going to be good, so I went and took the path that I had blazed through the field of just grass that now that they've mowed, you really have to look for. Oh well, but I walked along that, and it was wet, but it wasn't trying to dodge pools. Pretty damp, pretty wet, and I was a fool. But past that, I have largely just been playing my comfort games outside of Disco Elysium. And that's okay. It's a lot of murder and killing. It is, after all, a bar brawl murder sim. You are, each individual scenario that in the type. You can play scenarios, you can play user-made levels, and then they have a roguelike thing called Beneath that I don't fully understand even now. But of the types, they are bar brawl murder sims, and because you don't win until everyone is dead. And when it's a bar brawl in like a disco, and you're having to murder everyone in the bar, well, luckily they're all fighting amongst themselves. And boy, they've done some stuff with the physics engine, because I saw some people in the one game I did last night where they were punching each other and voxel chunks of head were flying everywhere. They were just knocking the meat off each other's skulls left and right. And the thing is, because it's all voxels, they have a voxel skull inside of their voxel head that gradually gets revealed as they knock the meat off of each other. But it was funny enough that I laughed and took some GIFs, because I pronounce it that way, of kicking somebody and then flying away and then hitting a wall and just bursting like a rotten melon with just everywhere. You gotta save a thing like that. Also, there's this one scenario that's the very first one. It's a biker bar. One of the things you can do is they have an island bar. I climb up onto the island bar because you're safe there. They can't hurt you. And then from there you can jump onto this upper layer where they have rooms around it. And then you can attack the people, and when they run at you, you jump back to the island bar. And they will collect there. All of the ones that are irritated at you will run up there and then usually start to fight. And one of the things that I don't know why I find it just so amazingly funny, and I love to watch it. The physics engine will occasionally just go absolutely insane. But 99% of the time, it works amazingly well. And the voxel jointed characters that are there, when they get knocked down, you will have their bloody, meaty bodies there, and then they will roll and then fall off the upper balcony onto the ground. And it's just so wet and sloppy as they just loll over the edge and just splash onto the ground. And for whatever reason, I could have that on repeat, play it on the walls. It would be awesome, because in the middle of all this, of course, there's all this incredible violence of all these people attempting to murder each other with blood spraying everywhere, and literally the walls are painted, the floor is painted, there's blood everywhere. There is death and murder galore. It is glorious. So much human suffering and death. Thumbs up. I enjoyed that game. It's a fun one. I was going to do the whole, hey, if you could like, comment, share, subscribe, that would be very, very cool and deeply, deeply appreciated. All this now is going to break it all the way up so that it wasn't just a chunk of stuff at the end and then maybe a little bit at the very, very end. But instead, If you are a Patreon patron, thumbs up and thank you. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. Because of your help, I get to eat at the very end of the month. So thank you. It is appreciated so very, very much. When you look in the mirror, you're looking at someone who is both beautiful and awesome. And I was hoping to really spread that out so that it wasn't, just that chunk of nonsense at the end where you could just blip over it or just go, here we go, and then, fast forward or just stop watching and leaving. Because if you are somebody who has left me a comment, thumbs up and thank you so very, very much. I read as many comments as YouTube will show me. I thumbs up and I heart every comment that YouTube allows me to, and I answer as many as my nerve compression will let me, which is not as many as I would like, but it is more than zero, and that's a good thing. So hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to break it up more, because I do still talk at the end after the big spiel is over, like I'm doing right now. But not everybody watches through to the end of videos. I mean, I get antsy. I do it myself. Some of my favorite YouTubers, the little bar gets to like 2 minutes to the end, and I'll click off. So I understand it. I mean, I'm not just saying anybody that makes it to 2 minutes. I know the guy Nomad I was talking about before, he has talked about when he went into the analytics, there were people that started watching his videos and clicked off at 0 seconds. Started watching it, and before it could even play, clicked off. Hokey smokes. So, yeah. And that happens to absolutely everybody. This is one of the reasons that I'm glad that I don't do this sort of thing as a job, because the YouTube analytics are soul-crushing. Absolutely soul-crushing. Thumbs up for that. I made the mistake of looking through them, and it shows you how many people click off. And if you even have a slight bit of rejection sensitivity, it's like a gut punch. Which I have talked with my therapist, and I had not realized that I had rejection rejection sensitivity so strong that, it's rejection of any kind, strong physical pain, which makes sense for absolutely everybody. When you have rejection or any sort of thing like that, but rejection is sharp, the parts of your brain hook up and it feels like a physical pain. So it's not, you're not going crazy. That it is a physical thing, but for some people they don't feel a thing. For the middle group, that this extreme feels not much. The major part of everybody feels, rejection, that hurts. And then there's this end where it's like, God, I feel like I've been stabbed because it hurts. Oh my God. Which also ties in, I would imagine, to why I have really not done anything else in my life. Fear of rejection sensitivity. Well, I'm going to edit, render, upload. I'm going to spend the rest of the day taking care of myself. I'm going to be recording some Disco Elysium, of course, because that is a great game. And even though, as it has been stated by one person in the comments, that I'm not really the type of person that this game was developed for, you can play it straight. Somebody, wish I could remember your name, so if you're watching, I'm very sorry, was talking about how there have been people who have played it straight, completely sober. But one of the big common threads among the Let's Plays and what people talk about is everybody tries their best to not disappoint Kim. Kim isn't detective. Kim is baby. Thumbs up for that. Hopefully you can get done the things that you would like to get done. That would be very, very cool. I'm gonna go with this. If you could put Fixident into the comments, that would be very, very cool. Definitely a thumbs up. That would let the YouTube algorithm and me know that people actually do watch these videos, at least up to the Fixident part. That would be very, very cool. It's a tiny little game. Oh, God, I hate it when that happens. Just dry throat, sudden inability to talk. It's a tiny game. Not many people play. But that's okay. It's not a requirement. And even if it was, I couldn't force you, and I wouldn't want you to. Consent is important. So, thumbs up. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very, very good thing. It's hard to aim the heart like right at the camera properly. And then there's this one, which is easier to do, but then it's like, well, what does this mean? Is the heart wearing a hat? So, anyway, you take care, and I will see you on the flip side.